Where there's thunder, there's lightning. John Nada. I recently watched some material from Stardust, in which he discusses the aspects of the black pill and cope. One of his most salient points is where he's discussing the idea of a therapist essentially being a conversational mercenary. Throughout life, we always hear how if one is having an issue, they may want to seek therapy. Indeed, there seems to be some correlation between a therapist and a prostitute. Both are providing a service of human interaction, be it physical or mental, in exchange for pay. In a way, it is a sad truth for many men. Women have at their disposal a plethora of physical interaction if they so choose, yet they also have the sympathetic ear of their support groups, friends, family, and society at large. As we have learned, much of society couldn't care less about the trials and travails of the average man. So many men are left talking to someone who is only listening because they are paying. Indeed, MGTOW is a road walked on one's own, for the road is that narrow. Stardust talked about much of life being cope. In a lot of ways, this is true. MGTOW itself could be said to be a form of cope. It is the best solution, the best system for the circumstances we find ourselves in. I still learn new things as I continue the journey up the mountain. The higher up you get, a better view of the lay of the land you receive. For example, the idea of the wall. The wall is really cope. Most women will find someone to carry them through life. It may not be the man they think they deserve, or the man of their dreams, but they won't die lonely, childless cat ladies either. And after all, why is that our concern? We are men going our own way. We have no time to look back. Those who look back end up pillars of salt. Who are you improving for? Why do you do what you do? These are the questions that matter. The questions we ask ourselves and not ones we ask others. It is what I do in my life that matters, not the actions of anyone else. One thing I would impress on all the MGTOW out there is to be free from intoxicants. Life is treacherous and confusing enough. Best to approach it with as clear of a mind as possible. There are many channels out there masquerading as MGTOW, but in reality are nothing but refurbished PUA. There's a lot of time, energy, and effort in the pursuit of getting a girlfriend. One of Stardust's most valuable points on the matter is even if you get a girlfriend, what then? What is the likelihood it will last? Look up at the heavens. Stars change their position, leaves fall off the trees only to return with the spring. Look at your own life. What, if anything, has remained the same? As you get older, it is harder to keep friends and harder to make friends. People move away from their hometown and lose touch. People marry and start families and no longer have the time or interest to divest to friendships. This is just how things are, how they've always been. The one constant in life is that there will always be change. Whirlwind MGTOW made one of the best points I've come across. He said, "In this world there is no such thing as being home. We never arrive." He further adds that we should aim for a state of mind where one can say, yeah, things may not be perfect, but you know what? I can be content like this. I agree with him. It is a pitfall to get too caught up lamenting the past or anticipating the future when there is only the present. So what does it all mean? What is my motivation, the actor may ask the director. I've searched for an answer to this question for a long time. I think I finally found a satisfying answer to the question. Lat QCD made a comment on Stardust's video, "The Black Pill is a Crisis of Motivation," that I think gives the best answer possible. He states, "The only thing that motivates me, if you can even call it that, is knowing that if I stop now, things will become even worse than they already are. There may not be a life worth running towards, but there is certainly a life worth running away from. Indeed, if a house is left to sit long enough, it crumbles to the ground. If a person lives a life unfettered, they end up dying of cirrhosis or find themselves decrepit much earlier, both physically and financially, than they otherwise would have been. They trade wonderful experiences and enlightenment and some measure of contentment for a dark room to seethe in as they repeat the mantra, life isn't fair. There is truth in the black pill, and that there are many factors outside our control. But it belies the fact that we can find some measure of peace, even if it is small, through our own efforts on this journey. Life is perfect for no one, and you will not create the perfect life, but oftentimes you will find life to be what you make it. Go your own way or don't. The choice is yours.